Brace yourself. This episode changed everything. If you thought Invincible was intense before, Season 3, Episode 3 just cranked it up to a whole new level. Betrayal, heartbreak, and shocking reveals. This episode left us with more questions than answers. Is Oliver on the path to becoming a villain? Who is the mysterious figure watching from the shadows? And just how deep does the corruption go? Trust me, you don't want to miss this breakdown. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, where we break down the latest and greatest from Invincible. Today, we're diving deep into Season 3, Episode 3, titled, You Want a Real Costume, Right? This episode delivered action, emotion, and some major foreshadowing for what's to come. Mark is stepping up as a mentor, but Oliver's reckless behavior could spell disaster. Meanwhile, the Guardians are in chaos, and a new villain is lurking in the shadows. So buckle up, because we have a lot to talk about. Before we jump in, if you love Invincible content, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a breakdown. Alright, let's get into it. A cinematic opening. The episode kicks off in a way that's both visually stunning and deeply tragic. We follow two small-time criminals trying to make ends meet. At first, they're attempting a bank heist, but Bulletproof makes short work of them. Forced to escape empty-handed, they return to their apartment, struggling to survive. What's heartbreaking is that they actually try to go straight, working at a diner, earning an honest wage. But society isn't kind. Rent skyrockets, they lose their jobs, and desperation drives them back into crime. This sequence, told almost entirely through music and animation, reminds us of the Invincible universe's core theme. That people aren't just heroes or villains, they're complicated. But before they can escape this time, Mark, suited up as Invincible, steps in. Oliver joins the fight, and his reckless inexperience nearly costs them both. This sets up the tension between the brothers for the rest of the episode. The family divide. Back at the Grayson house, Debbie is furious at Oliver for putting himself in danger. She tells him he's not allowed to use his powers at home, but Mark pushes back. He argues that Oliver can't just pretend to be normal. He has Viltrumite blood, and he needs guidance. This leads to a crucial conversation about training. At the same time, we check in on Eve, who's struggling to find her place. She almost lets slip to her architecture classmates that she uses her knowledge in the real world, but Amber rescues her with a perfectly timed coffee break. Their conversation is surprisingly warm, showing that despite past tensions, Amber still cares about Mark and Eve's relationship. Meanwhile, Rex and the former Guardians are working to make their old team base into something functional. There's a fun moment when Rex offers Shrinking Ray first dibs on his old room, only to realize it's a disaster. The group debates new team names, but their casual joking masks the bigger issue: their leadership vacuum. The crime world reacts elsewhere. Titan has a major problem. Master Lu wants Multi-Paul out of prison, and Titan initially refuses, not wanting to get entangled with the Order. But after some intense persuasion, Titan realizes he doesn't have much of a choice. This subplot reminds us that the crime world never stops moving, and power struggles can erupt at any moment. Meanwhile, Art unveils Oliver's first real superhero suit. Oliver proudly calls himself Kid Omni-Man, but Mark shuts that down immediately. He explains that the name is a reminder of their father's crimes, and Oliver doesn't fully grasp why that's a problem. It's an important moment, highlighting Oliver's dangerous naivety. Mark also receives a new suit, switching to a blue and black color scheme. It's more than just a new look, it's a symbol of his evolution. But before they can admire it, news breaks of a major prison escape. The prison break and Oliver's mistake. Mark and Oliver rush to the penitentiary, where Kursk and Furnace are breaking out Multi-Paul. Mark warns Oliver to hang back, but of course, Oliver ignores him. Predictably, it backfires. Oliver gets taken down in seconds, forcing Mark to clean up the mess. The fight is intense, and Mark's frustration is evident. He tells Oliver that if he pulls a stunt like that again, training is over. Afterward, Debbie and Paul are on a date, and Debbie finally opens up about Nolan. Paul, understandably overwhelmed, doubts he can live up to her past. But Debbie reassures him. She's not looking for another Omni-Man. She's looking for someone real. Meanwhile, Eve attempts to reconnect with her parents. Her dad is still hesitant, but she convinces him to let her move back home, on the condition that she stops using her powers in the house. It's an uneasy compromise, but it shows that Eve is trying to mend relationships, even when it's difficult. The Maulers and Oliver's true nature. The biggest moment of the episode happens when the Mauler twins attack a missile silo. The Guardians intervene, but they're overwhelmed. Mark flies in to help, but Oliver disobeys orders yet again. In a brutal scene, he kills one Mauler and nearly beats the second to death. His justification? It's what a Viltrumite should do. Mark is horrified, realizing that Oliver is beginning to think like their father. Their argument is raw, emotional, and deeply concerning. The episode ends with Oliver standing in the desert, questioning everything. Has he already crossed a line he can't come back from? But there's more. A hidden drone has been watching everything. The footage plays on multiple screens, and from the shadows, a voice murmurs, "Such a happy family." The episode fades to black. What's next? This episode was packed with emotional depth, action, and foreshadowing. The themes of identity, legacy, and morality were on full display, and Oliver's arc is becoming increasingly worrisome. With the introduction of a new villain watching from the shadows, things are about to get even crazier. So what do you think? Is Oliver on a dangerous path? Who is the mysterious figure behind the drones? Drop your theories in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more Invincible breakdowns. See you next time.